Today we're going to look at how to change in between forms and how to write some equations for a quadratic. So if we take a look at this quadratic, we're asked to write it in vertex, standard, and intercept form. But if you notice, we're given the vertex, we're given the intercepts, all intercepts, x and y. So let's start with our intercept form. So y equals a, x minus p, x minus q. So if we start filling in the blanks, y equals, we don't know what our a is, but we know it's x plus 2, because it crosses at minus 2, and x minus 6. So to figure out our a, we can plug in this other coordinate. We have 0, 20, negative 24. So negative 24 equals a, the x value when y was 24 was 0 plus 2, and 0 minus 6. So if we simplify this, we have negative 24 equals a times 2 times negative 6. So we have negative 12a equals negative 24. So in this case, a would be 2. So this would be intercept form. We have y equals 2, x plus 2, x minus 6. So if we need to get this into standard form, we can just multiply this out. So y equals 2. We distribute here. We have x squared minus 6x plus 2x minus 12. So that's y equals 2 x squared minus 4x minus 12. Multiply this out, we have y equals 2x squared minus 8x minus 24. So there's our standard form. And now we need to find our vertex form. Well, we can use that formula how to get our vertex. So our vertex, which we practiced the very first day, the opposite of b, the opposite of b over 2 times 2, so that's 4. I feel that's not 4. That's got to be 2. Sorry about that. And if we plug that in, y equals 2 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 minus 24. So we have 4 times 2, so we have 8 minus 16 minus 24. So negative 8 minus 24 is negative 32. So our vertex form is y equals 2. Our x coordinate was 2, so x minus 2 squared minus 32. So if we notice here, we're given our intercept. So we'll start with intercept form. And if you remember, that was y equals a, x minus h squared plus k. So once again, we don't know our a, but we know that this would be x minus 2 squared plus 12. And now we have this other coordinate we can plug in. So 9 equals a. We can plug in our 1 minus 2 squared plus 12. So negative 1 squared is 1. So 9 equals 1a plus 12. Minus 12 minus 12. So that would be negative 3 is our a value. All right, so in intercept form, we'd have a, which we just found out was negative 3, and then we would have x minus 2 squared plus 12. And there's intercept form, and now we'll talk about how to switch it into the other form. It's standard because we just have to multiply this out. So we can take this, y equals negative 3 x minus 2 times x minus 2 plus 12. So we have negative 3. If we multiply this out, we got x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 4 plus 12. So we have negative 3 times x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 12. Distribute, we have negative 3x squared plus 12x minus 12 plus 12. So this simplifies into negative 3x squared plus 12x. Well, then we have to write it in intercept form. So we're almost there. So basically what we need to do is we need to factor this. Well, let's look at that. I see right now that we can factor out a 3x out of these. So that would be 3x. We'd have x plus 4. And so in intercept form, we'd have a 3. This x would just be x minus 0 times x plus 4. And we have our intercept form. And you could just leave it as the 3x as well. But I feel I did that wrong. This shouldn't be plus 4. This should be, excuse me, sorry guys. This should be minus 4.